As you can see, a beautiful sight here at Sports Authority Field at Mile High Stadium. Some may say rain, not so good. But we got tough guys out on the field, and you know what? They're very happy to be here in this situation, in this scenario, and certainly being natives of the state of Colorado after watching their beloved Broncos, Denver Outlaws. This is an honor to be in this moment on this particular field. How are you? Welcome to CHSAA TV, incorporated with Play on Sports. My name is Marty Cesario. We are about to bring you the Colorado State High School Lacrosse Championship game between two squads who have come here through different styles. Certainly in the semifinal contests, we had different tempos within those semifinal games, but the way things played out at the end of both those contests, certainly both finished off in thrilling fashion. Each of these squads on the field emerging with 1-point victories to advance to this state championship game. It'll be the Cherry Creek Bruins against the Arapahoe Warriors. After we started the brackets out, it is 1 versus 2. The number 1 seed here in the state of Colorado in lacrosse, boys lacrosse, the Arapahoe Warriors, moved on by beating 18th seed Heritage, and that was their moment where they got the scare. It was a 1-point victory in round 1, and then they got their fright a little bit, shook it off, and moved on in convincing fashion in the next round in the quarterfinals, beat Monarch, the 8th seed, 13-1, and then the semifinal matchup, which I've been talking about, against Columbine. They never led throughout the entire contest until about 30 seconds left when Tyler Widlin scored, and eventually Arapahoe held on, collected a 10-9 victory to get to this point, the state championship game. For the Cherry Creek Bruins, number 2 seed in the state bracket in 2012. They started off differently than Arapahoe. A convincing win over the 17th seed Air Academy in round 1, 15-2. Then they beat Rock Canyon. Many people thought Rock Canyon, they're going to frighten some people, and they did. Eventually a victory 9-3 for Cherry Creek over the Rock Canyon Jaguars. And then in the semifinal, also a 1-point victory. Different style, different fashion, different tempo, different style of play, as I've been talking about. A 4-3 victory over a great defensive club in the Regis Raiders. A lot of long possessions for both squads. Coach Perry, first thing he says is that, that Regis squad, they are just outstanding defensively. And Cherry Creek just have found their opportunities after holding the ball so long to eventually get it in. A couple of times in the fourth quarter, Siler Skudnecki scored with under 10 minutes to play in the fourth to get a 3-2 lead. Regis eventually tied it up quickly. And then William Lemon, the senior attackman, scored at 7:19 on the clock in the fourth quarter. An offside receive, and then he stuffed it into the net to put his Bruins up 4-3. The Bruins eventually held on and advanced to this awesome moment for these kids who were 16, 17, 18 years old. Overall records this year, Arapahoe's been one of the favorites throughout 2012. They are 18-0. They have not lost under Coach Guy Sarasoli. Coach Sarasoli, an interesting story that we'll talk about so much. He was the head coach for Arapahoe back in 1997, elected to go to law school. Nice work and impressive guy. After finishing up law school successfully, it just so happened, a quirky sense of timing, the Arapahoe job opened up once again in 2009, and certainly Coach Sarasoli was happy about that. Took the job, and Arapahoe won the state championship in 2009. Coach Brian Perry's been coaching lacrosse for 15 years. He actually played at Cherry Creek High School, a graduate in 1987. So a lot of history, a lot of pedigree with these two lax squads, and they're just about get ready to play. They're on the X for the opening face-off. 2012 state championship game, boys lacrosse, here in the state of Colorado. Immediately we get a whistle. Infraction. Cherry Creek will have the opening possession to get things going as the Bruins move up into the box. I think I've spelled out the story long enough as we get another whistle perhaps a violation of substitutions. You see the officials wearing the windbreakers that'll ward off the moisture. You may not be able to tell on screen, but it is spitting out there. I was just on the field talking with each coach, kind of feeling things out, but it's spitting out there, and if you go ahead and check the radar for Colorado at this moment, there are some what I call green blobs over the foothills right now, so it is a possibility that we may get some more thunderstorms rolling through here. I joke that doesn't matter to these guys. They're tough. It might just add to the atmosphere if they have to battle it out through a thunderstorm in Colorado, especially if you're Cherry Creek playing that style that I've been talking about, where it's going to be slow, methodical, long possessions. Referee's done deliberating, and here we go. Wurtzer bringing up into the box. He's going to work around. Cherry Creek going to start off from the X position. Back there, that's number 11, Skylar Skudnexy, that I talked about, who scored in the fourth quarter against Regis. Little motion, working it around. That's Wurtzer once again, number 2. Dodges, brings it back around. Up top and out of the box. Now back in, being checked defensively by Will Albin. And here's the Bruins taking the time. You're going to see this a lot, too, from Cherry Creek. 42, Austin Smith likes to work one-on-one. Nice dodge, gets by. Can't find a place to be, and behind the goalie circle, and now he'll stand at the X and bark orders for his offense and take his time. In front of him defensively for Arapahoe, that's Sam Banks. Banks, an interesting story, suffered concussive symptoms in the semifinal matchup, has been cleared to play. Obviously, he's on the field, which is awesome for a teenage guy. He is a senior to be able to be out here for this championship game. Up top for Creek, that's Wurtzer, working around. The pass over to the far side. There's a score. Cherry Creek on the board first. Sailor Skudnetsky with the score. At the 10:35 mark in the first quarter, Bruins on the board first. 1-0, Cherry Creek drawing blood first in this state championship game. Again, Skudnetsky going to the offside of the goalie for a score at 10:35. Face-off one, possession, ground ball, eventually scooped up by a long stickman. That was Zach Yoshiaka. Nice poke check away. Good bump in the front, and here comes Arapahoe. Arapahoe likes to have nice fluid motion with their offense. Check now defensively by Luke Papillion. Yes, quarterback from Cherry Creek's football squad. He'll be playing for Coach Dave Logan this year, or the next football season. As you see, Arapahoe set up from the X and back out to the near side wing. Behind the goal, Tyler Widlin, the semifinal hero, and back up top. Again, a lot of fluid motion with Arapahoe as they move to the inside, try to get a pass to the interior, to the strong side of the goalie. No goal. Referees determined that was a pass out of bounds. Cherry Creek awarded possession. Mass substitutions at the box in front of us, near side. Both coaches early on being liberal with substitutions with their middies. Slow clear, Cherry Creek taking their time as expected. Long stickman up to the middle. A move across. Attempted body check, no good. Getting around it, that's Austin Smith. Now he's into the box. Instincts would say, with everything I've talked about so far as we've begun this broadcast, is Cherry Creek with a lead will certainly take their time. And then just to counter that, we see the Bruins try to get to the interior on the wing. We've got a right-handed goalie for Arapahoe, so strong side is here, near side, as Austin Smith moves up. Back up to the top. Ball down. Trying to go for the scoop, eventually collected by Cherry Creek. That's a nice job by one of the short sticks. Smith here once again, taking his time. Now he's going to move up for the attack. Going on the strong side here. Ball on the ground. This works well for Coach CHSAA in terms of seeing the ball drop to the ground. That's about the fourth time so far unofficially from my sidelines. Coach CHSAA says, defensively, likes to point out both of these squads are very tough defensively in terms of goals against average. But he'd like to maintain position as we see a shot on goal off the post to the offside of the goalie and out of bounds. Nice hustle on the part of Cherry Creek. That was Ryder Clark getting closest. And correction, Arapahoe will be awarded the possession, and that's why you see him going left to right now, standing in the middle. Number 10, Adam Jones, bringing it up, teasing the box and back to the outside to the midi. Number 4 is Tyler Lambert up top with the ball right now. Ben Eigner. And they'll work it around. A weave up top against those two middies right there in front. The attack. Using his size and strength, Tyler Lampert to the X. And back around to the goal. Trying to find a cutter to the inside. Ball goes down. Good job defensively. That was Luke Papillion, and watch Luke right now. Luke likes to make a run on the clear all by himself. This time he gives it away to Jake Lindell. And with the long stick, Lindell gives one of his attack men as substitutions in the middle of your screen. See the middies come out. Lindell back to the middle to come to the near side here to check out. To the X position, Cherry Creek kicking it back to the outside. Bert Keller. Trying to get to that offside of the goalie. That was Grant Bowling. We'll call out a lot of different names, using a lot of different players, each squad so far, showing their versatility and abundance of talent. Nice dodge to the inside and winging it. No good. Couldn't draw close. That's Blake Schreier with the miss. Shot goes out of bounds. Cherry Creek with possession. They'll keep it. And back up top to 2-2. Blake Schreier. Always got to keep an eye on the 2-2 for any squad. Always in honor of the legendary Gary Gate. If you get 2-2, your coach awards you that jersey. You got something. Got a lot in your toolbox. Schreier wears it for Cherry Creek. And back up top, that is Blake Schreier with the dodge to the inside and a nice stop. Excellent goaltending, good vision on the part of Ryan Smith, and back the other way, hustling down quickly. There's Arapahoe. We've got a loose ball, the ground ball, eventually picked up by number 7, Tyler Widlin. Checked by a long pole. And now Arapahoe will work it up top as they make substitutions once again for Coach CHSAA. Up top middle, Kevin Marr. Marr looks around the weave. Donche Ragland, he's got it. Being checked by Cooper Reben. Looking to make that dodge. Arapahoe attacking the crease, looking for a cutter once again. No good, ball down, nice defense on the part of Cooper Reben, who I just called. And eventually Arapahoe up top. Their possessions, shorter this time. Ball down, checked, and we've got a whistle. Good defense. Ryder Clark, Cherry Creek. Possession still Arapahoe. A goal down. Bruins up 1-0, 4:45 on the clock. First quarter, 2012 state championship game, boys lacrosse, here in the state of Colorado. From the X position, working solo against a defender. Got some moves on the drive, and nice job. Eventually shook him. At least 4 different dodge maneuvers. Couldn't shake the Bruin until the last one. 21 for Arapahoe. Gets his Warriors on the board. That's Bryce Parietti, the leading scorer all season long, the go-to guy, so says Coach Guy CHSAA, and he puts the ball in the net for Arapahoe to even up the game at 4:29 on the clock Bryce Perrietti for Arapahoe. Face-off win for the Warriors. Do they have momentum? You can hear the rush of the crowd. Both schools well represented, both active communities, Cherry Creek High School and Arapahoe High. Cherry Creek, school that at this stage has been around a little while, since the 80s. Greenwood Village next to Cherry Creek Lake and the Denver Technological Center. Arapahoe High School. As you see the shot, dodge, whip to the strong side of the goalie by Kevin Marr. Excuse me, that was Tyler Lampert. Ground ball scooped up nicely. Perrietti trying to use those dodge moves once again. Perrietti always draws the best defenseman for any squad that the Warriors will face. Man down, nice check. You see the stick check attempts on the part of the defender, Zachary Cohen. Back to the X to set up Arapahoe. Here comes Ben Eigner. Going to work one-on-one solo. Works the dodge, strong side of the goalie. Will he try to get a cutter across? No. Stick check, loose ball, eventually picked up by the Bruins. They have possession. Here comes the clear. A long stickman has it. Up and across for Cherry Creek. Yoshiaka eventually gives it up, and he'll come back and check out. Cherry Creek going to reset their offense. Out onto the field. Just checked in. Sailor Skudnetsky. Austin Smith out there too, and eventually, as you see, walking on the field, Charlie Wurtzer. So the go-to line of middies and attackmen for Cherry Creek out on the field right now. Austin Smith with the ball. He's going to work from way up top into the box. Trying to go strong side against the goalie, working the dodge. Try to whip around. No cutters there. There's one right in front. Standing at the goalie circle was William Lemon. Couldn't get a cutter and then had no angle for a shot. Eventually gets back up top here for the Bruins. Wurtzer working one-on-one, looking around, probing. Austin Smith now takes the shot from up top. Out of bounds. Cherry Creek maintains possession. See nice defensive work. The long pole. Give him credit. That was Mitch Bowe. Ground ball attempt. Nice try by Smith. So far, really good goalie work. Trouble. Eventually gets it. It's fortunate. Inside the circle. Defender couldn't do anything about it. And the clear. Quickly. Back and approaching the box with the long stick. J.D. Hall. Looking around, trying to reset. Eventually does. Get a shorty out there, and Ben Eigner will call it out. And now another substitution once again. Eigner down the middle, and Arapahoe's going to get to the X position to start up their offense. That's number 10 with the dodge and to the interior, looking for the cutter. He's got one to the middle. A shot attempt, no good. Will they call it a pass? We'll see what the referee says. Arapahoe will maintain possession. They call it a shot. It's always tough to watch the angle when you're viewing a lacrosse game. You really have to trust your official because he's the only one who's got the best angle to tell if it's a pass, who's closest. In this case, the shot was called. Arapahoe will maintain possession, and back there, that's Michael Babb. Michael Babb's brother. If you've heard about his story, Drew Babb, amazing athlete with Arapahoe, basketball player, lacrosse player, plays for the DU Pioneers and Coach Tierney. The DU Pioneers, 1 goal short against Loyola University earlier this afternoon in the NCAA tournament quarterfinals. The Babb family hoping to go 1-for-1 for today as Big Drew, nice stop. Saw it the whole time. Good goaltending so far on the part of Ryan Smith. And that'll finish up the quarter, even up 1-1. How else would you like it? State championship game. Number 1, Arapahoe. Number 2, Cherry Creek, and we're even 1 goal apiece. The reset to go through the scoring so far. Just 2. Cherry Creek opened it up. At 10:35 in the first quarter, it was Saylor Skudneski. Again at 10:35 for the quick 1-0 lead for the Cherry Creek Bruins. Bruins defense held for quite a while. Nearly 6 minutes, almost exactly 6 minutes, until Bryce Perrietti put the ball in net for Arapahoe to even things up at 1-1. 5A Boys and Girls Lacrosse State Championship game. CHSAA.tv in conjunction with Play on Sports. Notation, there won't be any video ads or no ads. We're going commercial free. Except for me noting that CHSAA TV and Play on Sports are bringing you this broadcast. The crew's giggling at me. I'm like Pavlov's dog. You hand me something, I'm going to read it. No harm. And the bad is on me. And remember, keep in mind that you can, at the conclusion of this contest, it might take a day or two, but you can purchase DVD copies of this broadcast right here on the website, CHSAA.tv. CHSAA TV and Play on Sports giving you the opportunity to purchase this as a keepsake. So keep that in mind. It might take a day or two, but you will have an opportunity to secure this and put it in your archived video library. Again, I'm not afraid to go ahead and blurt out, what a great moment. You're on TV, state championship game. I'd want a copy myself. See Arapahoe, team switch sides. Arapahoe eventually gets the ground ball and coming up on the clear, checked. Body and stick check, and eventually knocked out of bounds. With a whistle blown, Cherry Creek's going to take over possession. Good job defensively. Is that William Lemon? Well, Lemon, the attackman, was part of the mix there. He's going to get back around the goalie circle, work the crease. And here's Cherry Creek up top with Charlie Wurtzer. You'll see Wurtzer a lot, and also, as I've mentioned a couple of times, Austin Smith will also come from a corner of the box up top. Wurtzer trying to whip it through, high, strong side of the goalie, above the shoulder, goes out of bounds. Bruins keeping the ball, maintaining possession. We've got a double team defensively here. Whistle blown. William Lemon not happy about being worked like that. And now as each team has had one possession, a lot shorter for Arapahoe, as you saw them lose the ball, get it checked, and eventually out of bounds. A real short possession for the Warriors. Creek gets one shot attempt and now timeout called as Coach Sarah Soley for the Warriors and Coach Brian Perry for Cherry Creek wants some time to have discussions with their players. Haven't talked a lot about Coach Brian Perry. Long conversation with him during the week after those semifinal matchups. Wanted to make sure that we understood that the loss earlier in the regular season to Arapahoe could have gone either way. I've watched video of that contest. The Bruins were quite active in that game and certainly held leads. Coach Perry says could have gone either way. In this game, he just hopes his Bruins will play a lot smarter, and that should help them out a lot. Made a lot of references to the semifinal matchup, the win over Regis. A lot of long possessions in that semifinal victory. Skudneski eventually with a grass cutter with under 10 to play in the fourth to go up 3-2. Regis tied. William Lemon, an offside receive and stuff for the game winner at 7:19 in the fourth quarter. Coach Perry admits his squad still did not put out their best effort on the field versus Regis in that semifinal game on Wednesday night. 3 days later, here we are at Sports Authority Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. I-25, Colfax, Federal. The home of the new king in town, right? Peyton Manning. Another reason to get a DVD and cherish the moment. Guaranteed, regardless of what Peyton Manning does, he will be a Hall of Famer, and he's going to be wearing a Broncos uniform, and these kids are on that field. Battle for the ball to the inside. Here's the quick clear coming down the field for Arapahoe. Long pole. Will Albin. So good job by Albin as he's going to substitute out. Setting up from the X as they've often done, traditionally, Arapahoe. And back around to the near side. Number 10, Adam Jones. Over to the top, Kevin Marr. Kevin Marr, interesting. Coach Sarasoli, perhaps fair to say as we see the attempt ground shot trying to get through by Kevin Marr. Marr seems to have a knack for scoring against Cherry Creek. A Bruin killer, we'll say politely. That time going for the ground shot attempt against the Cherry Creek goalie. The goalkeeper, Sam Bryan Arthur. Special shout out to former Cherry Creek players watching in Los Angeles. Ricky Giancola, Jeff Barton, and one former Warrior who I've already talked about, Drew Babb, who was playing in the NCAA tournament earlier today. Drew Babb, just an excellent story. I've had the privilege of watching him play on the hoops court myself, along with lacrosse, surviving serious health issues. I think we call him a third-year freshman. Is that right? Third-year sophomore? He's going to play a lot for Coach Tierney and certainly be a big part of what the Pios are doing. Final Four last year, this year, making it to the quarterfinals. He's got a lot of years to play under Coach Tierney, and along with surviving those health issues, people within the lacrosse community very impressed. He was an attackman, but had to make adjustments, had some hip issues. This would be a day, from what I've read, that Drew Babb would have known this weather was coming in about 2-3 hours before it arrived, because he can feel that weather. It affects him in his hips. So that's good news right now. Drew's watching his little brother out there on the field. Michael Babb's Arapahoe Warriors tied up 1-1, 8-19 here in the second quarter of the state championship game. As we see the flow and momentum pick up a little bit. Austin Smith with the ball. Coming across, approaching the box up top. 3 Warriors defensively in his face. Austin Smith will settle down. Sailor Skudnecki, who has the lone goal for the Bruins, taking that angled shot, which is interesting because I have a notation from my notes and observations from the semifinal game. He scored on what we call the grass cutter. A good underhand shot is what got the ball in net to make it 3-2 in that game, and he's tried that a couple of different times. So that seems to be a go-to technique for him on the shot. Sailor Skudnecki out of bounds that time, but Cherry Creek maintains possession, and up top there is Austin Smith working up against Sam Banks. Banks, a face-off specialist. Interesting story. Glad to have him out there. He's the one who suffered the blow to the head in the semifinal game, but had been cleared to play. Here's the clear quickly. Long pole coming across all the way. He's going to attack. Eventually knocked out with the poke check. Coming to dive in. Knocked the ball out of bounds, or out of the basket of one of the Arapahoe Warriors. That was good defense. Sailor Skudnecki, active, getting a lot of calls out of my mouth. Eventually, Arapahoe keeps possession, setting up from that X position back there, behind net. Michael Babb coming inside. Instead of taking the shot, looks for the cutter. That was number 7 coming across, Tyler Widlin, the hero of the semifinal. Couldn't get a basket on the ball. It goes out of bounds. He was closest on the pass that went out. So Arapahoe will keep it. Always a good visual in lacrosse to see those defensemen just waiting at the midline. Can't approach across. They're just going to watch and observe, make reads. Now into the box. Here's number 10 for Arapahoe. That's Adam Jones. Good defensive positioning on the part of Cherry Creek and Matt Godelman. Banks with it, works the dodge. Back to the far side, along the wing. Ooh, an errant pass attempt got stuck in his basket. Eventually the goalie picks it up within his circle, and here comes Cherry Creek on the clear. Errant pass all the way down. The long pole gets it. Will Albin. They'll work it all the way across. Here's where you start to think, okay, is it spitting out there? Is the ball really wet? Is it rotating out of the basket, kind of funky? Is that why we're serves? I'm in no position to say it's poor execution. Warriors with the ball. Babb. Over to Parietti and back up top. That's Widland. There's a cutter across to the near side. Oh, nice body check for Cherry Creek. Ryder Clark. Clark is an excellent story. Heartwarming. You can feel that one emotionally. Clark had lost his mother early on in the year. Coach Perry said, team togetherness. These guys have a lot of friendships out there. They're really tight, and that's what kind of soothed his heart, and it's nice to have him get a nice payoff here by being in the state championship game. Ryder Clark, nice play there as Cherry Creek's back the other way. Successful clear. And they're going to work around the box until they go in on the attack. Taking their time with a tied-up ball game. 4:45 on the clock, second quarter. Creek, Arapahoe, 1-1. To the inside, Arapahoe playing nice defense, coming out with the ball. And there's a shot to the head. And I'll have to correct myself. I thought perhaps shot to the head that was going to end up being Arapahoe having possession, but no, not the case. Bruins have the ball. And another whistle. Timeout? Yes. Coach Perry wants to reset mentally. And he'll bring his guys back in. Coach Sarasoli will also talk with his guys. Speaking of Coach Sarasoli, working more on his background bio information. I mentioned he was the coach in 97, went to law school. Job opened up once again. Took it over again in 2009 at Arapahoe High. Won the state championship by beating Mullen in 2009. His lacrosse background, played at Kent Denver under Tom Graysner, who's been coaching like 30 years for Kent Denver. As you can see a shot of the officials taking a peek at some of the gear. We've got 54 degrees to reset with the weather conditions. Humidity at 62%, which would indicate we've got some moisture in the air. I have to recheck that radar to see what those green blobs are doing. Because I saw some things in the last couple of days, like right along I-70 at Genesee. There's been thunderstorms popping up. It's been raining here off and on depending on where you are, what neighborhood you're in, all day long. Earlier this morning, it was really the beef of the storm system. A lot of big thunder. I'm out in Ken Carroll, and boy, did we get rattled a few times. Woke up the whole family. And as I made the drive in today, seemed to be very gray and looking ominous over the hills, especially along I-70 and again that Genesee area as you look over Mount Vernon Canyon. So we're back in play. Cherry Creek. They're going to go to the X and work it back around. Look how tight they are, too. Creeping to the interior. A little unorthodox compared to what we've seen so far in this contest at even up 4 minutes in the second quarter. Austin Smith. No dodge. Tried to work a pick with Charlie Wurtzer. Good defense on the part of Kevin Marr. Smith still with it. Works back around. Now he's going to give it up back to the X. 17, William Lemon. And back to the far wing for the Bruins. That's Wurtzer. Another one of the go-to guys. Look at the defense work. Still have ground ball. Can he get to it? Yes. Thought perhaps Warrior closest to the ball. Didn't get possession. Still excellent defense on the part of Will Albin. Called his name out a few times. As you can see, the setup and the whistle. Ref winds the arm. It'll be Bruins ball. There's Austin Smith once again. And as we've often seen, working up against Kevin Marr, we see the shot. Working that offside of the goalie, goes out of bounds. Cherry Creek will keep it as it goes to this near corner on the lower right-hand side. Ball in the basket, working the dodge, trying to get near the crease. That was for Cherry Creek, Kendall Williams. And on a quick clear all the way down, here comes Kevin Marr. Stop, sets up, gets it over to Widlin and to the X. Michael Babb. Rest of the attackmen and the middies get into the box for Arapahoe. And back over here for a reset, Adam Jones, Arapahoe. Checked by Wurtzer, playing good defense as a middy. A lot of guys standing around in front of the goalie's circle as we see the attempt, trying to ground ball attempt again, trying to go at the feet of the goalie. And there is a great shot. I was waiting for that. Immediately when I saw it was going to be a rain day for this championship game, I thought two things. My instincts were face-offs. You're going to definitely have to grip your cleats into the ground for the face-offs. And then on any dives, we're going to see a guy go 15 yards. And we just did. I believe that was Tyler Widlin, who went a good 10, 15 yards on the turf because it's slick and wet around the crease. Long pull down. Attempt by Michael Babb. Working that offside of the goaltender. We've seen that a couple of times now, so perhaps Sarasoli trying to get his attackman to get to that offside and then throw it to the ground and get between the legs or at the ankles of the goaltender for Cherry Creek. So far, only one has gotten through, and that was a more orthodox score. To the inside, and there it is. Nice job by Michael Babb with the score. Babb at 1:46 with a ground ball shot. Well executed. Actually came up about 2-3 yards before getting to the feet of the goaltender. Ended up bouncing about at the numbers and got through. 2-1 lead, Cherry Creek after the goal by Michael Babb. The Bruins are now down a goal as we see the face-off possession won by Arapahoe. Goals by Babb and Perrietti have given Arapahoe a 2-1 lead. Warriors in white with the black helmets, trimmed on top with the gold. Cherry Creek, all red, white trim, white helmets. Arapahoe with the ball and again on the attack. Working the dodge, two maneuvers. Well played defensively, Bryce Whitehill, and will reset. Saw Tyler Lampert trying to get to the inside there, back to that spot, offside of the goalie, but denied. Good defense by Bryce Whitehill. Arapahoe settling a little bit. You felt a little anxiety, a little rush before they scored with Babb on the ground shot. Now they're picking it up once again on the dodge attempts. That's Perrietti keeping it and eventually gets away, and there's the shot. There's why Bryce Perrietti's the leading goal scorer for Arapahoe, the number one team in the state. One of the top scorers in the entire state of Colorado with 18 seconds left. Perrietti, multiple maneuvers. Eventually the dodge, shakes the defender, gets an inside release, offside of the goalie, bounce shot into the net. Perrietti with another goal. That's his second of this state championship game. Bryce Parietti puts the Warriors up 3-1. See the ball on the X in the middle. One thing you got to like about lacrosse is, like hockey, we don't stop to get to it. Taking a whack at the ball to get it out. Eventually, ground ball picked up by Cherry Creek, but I like the whack by the long stickman. That was J.D. Hall. Eventually, a long pole gets it, and you hear the horn. We're at halftime. So Cherry Creek opens up the scoring. They get a 1-goal lead, hold it for 6 minutes, and at least in terms of scoring, it's been all Arapahoe since then. A couple of Bryce Parietti goals and also one from Michael Babb. 2 goals within the last 2 minutes of the second quarter, and the number 1 team in the state has taken a 2-goal lead, 3-1. And as you get these visuals, a little variation on how these coaches want to approach the halftime break. Coach Perry's going to keep his squad on the field, which you'll see a lot, especially during the regular season in small venues. Coach Sarasoli taking his guys into the locker room to get out of the moisture. You can see kind of a little bit of gleam of sun maybe peeking through the clouds. And I don't see any more of that spitting. But again, we don't have the right to make judgment because we get to sit in the cushy press box. And I only found out about the spitting when I walked down there to shake hands with coaches, and I realized, yeah, my coat, I spent money on this. Mama's not going to be happy. This thing's getting soaked. So the clock clicking down. We've got about 9 minutes. We'll take a break with halftime. Arapahoe Warriors, you'll still get a visual. We'll have a chance to take a drink of my vitamin water here because Mom also told me make sure I hydrate myself. Be a good boy. It's 3-1. Cherry Creek was up 1-0. 3 goals from Arapahoe. 2 in the last 2 minutes of the second quarter. 2 by Parietti, 1 by Michael Babb. And it's the Warriors, number 1 seed in the state, with a 3-1 lead here in the 2012 Boys State Lacrosse Championship game on CHSAA TV in cooperation with Play On Sports. Arapahoe Creek setting up at the big X in the middle of the field right there. 2012 Boys Lacrosse State Championship game. Arapahoe Warriors, the top seed, with a 3-1 lead against the 2 seed, the Cherry Creek Bruins. Play underway, scramble for loose ball eventually after the opening face-off here. You see Creek on the attack, a long pull all the way to the middle, driving that slot far side, offside of the goalie, and gets one down on the ground. Bruins kind of trying to working a shot technique and mode of operation like we saw Arapahoe do towards the end of that second quarter. Nice work by the defenseman. That was Cooper Rabin, who did get a shot on goal, but you saw the good goaltending on a part of Arapahoe by Ryan Smith, who has given up just 1 goal, as indicated by the score that you see. 3-1 Arapahoe State Championship game. Warriors trying to collect their second championship under Coach Guy Sarasoli within the last 3 years. Cherry Creek, by the way, which Coach Sarasoli wanted to point out is, 2009 we won it, but keep in mind the Bruins were victorious. So we see a shot on goal right in front of the circle, rejected there. The goaltender, Sam Bryn Arthur, doing a nice job seeing it as it just gets in there quickly right in front of him, rejects it. Eventually defenders put a man on the ground, and the Warriors will keep possession here, work from up top as you kind of see. May be able to tell visually the sky's opening up a little bit. A few rays of sunshine starting to bless the boys down on the field right now. I will counter that by noting that this field is probably still very slick. So as you see the ball skip as if you were throwing a rock across the water at the pond, skips quickly and out of bounds. Cherry Creek will get possession of the ball. The long pole eventually going to scoop it up and waiting for the ref to wind his arm. There we go. And inbounds to the goalie, Bryn Arthur. Goalie's going to help out with the clear, but good defense up there up front. Michael Babb. Stick check, pops it across, and eventually a turnover. Yes, on the pass, out of bounds. Arapahoe will get it. They're rushing quickly to try to get in. Substitutions made. Numidi's out. See, the Bruins send in 3 long poles to help out defensively. Hunter Burton, Trevor Hazlitt out there as Arapahoe sets up top of the box. Adam Jones working the weave up top there and around. Tyler Lampert and across. Back to Jones. Jones trying to work the dodge, gets it to the inside. Bad trying to get it to the inside, and he found one. A cutter to the inside in front of the goalie once again. That's twice now. Shots on goal, 5 yards in front of the goaltender. But again, good goalkeeping on the part of Sam Bryn Arthur, rejecting those shot attempts. That one not so strong and it's clean. But as Bryn Arthur has it right now, and there's an errant pass. Good defense on the part. Was that Babb? No, it was not. It was number 7, Ben Eigner. And now the rush quickly down and around. Checked well defensively, body in good positioning. The defenseman, the long pole, that was Ryder Clark. Arapahoe is picking up the pace a little bit. And that'll affect him. Obviously, long pass mishandled. Still have instincts that ball's a little slicker than they're used to. Long pole, dangerous across as Michael Babb had an opportunity there to steal that attempted pass. Now we've got a whistle blown. Pass out of bounds. Arapahoe's going to get their possession there far side. Waiting for the indication and the whistle. Ben Eigner working up against 2, double teamed, and back and reset on the clear. Near side here. Got a lot of activity here at the midline, and a missed pass. Loose ball picked up cleanly with the bounce by Arapahoe. 21 very active so far. Bryce Perrietti, he's got 2 goals in this game. Shot attempt high and wide, and then he's dropped with the body. It was clean. Michael Babb now working against one of the long poles. Trying to get around. Keep waiting for the dive attempt. Not this time. Babb to the inside. So each shot attempt, Cherry Creek, the defenders are making sure those attackmen feel it for Arapahoe, even though they are getting very close attempts, getting very tight to the crease and getting them off. At least 6-7 shots on goal so far early on in this third quarter. Arapahoe with a 3-1 lead, 8 minutes even on the clock here in the third quarter of the state championship game. Boys Lacrosse, State of Colorado on CHSAA TV with Play on Sports. My name's Marty Cesario. Got the Carlson family with me. Warren Zeller helping out with Play On. Proud, honored to be in the building. What are we calling it? The Manning Mansion. I still think it's a little early, but you know what? He's earned that respect. But it's worth noting again. I went through that early on as we began the broadcast. What a great moment for these guys. Teenage kids, this may be their last lacrosse game, at least in an organized fashion. And they get to play on the field that so many Broncos have played on. Denver Outlaws. Arapahoe working the offense. You see that sweet, nice switch. I like an ambidextrous attackman. And Tyler Lampert just showed that, working the left-handed shot against the offside of the goaltender, out of bounds. Whitland bringing it up and back up top once again, Michael Babb. A long pole with an attempted shot. It's blocked. Good defense. Christian Rabin giving up his body, taking one to the knees. Another one off the ground. A long pole with the goal. Eric Steinberg for Arapahoe and a 3-goal lead for the Warriors. 7:12 on the clock, third quarter. A midi with the long pole. Eric Steinberg works the underhand grass cutter shot off the ground once again. Mentioned a couple times, the Warriors made the adjustment to go to the ground with those shot attempts. They've gotten it a couple of different times. Steinberg scores. Arapahoe wins the faceoff. They've got possession. They're very active right now. The flow, the pace, it's all going the Warriors' way. After Creek started out this contest in the first quarter with a 1-goal lead, it's been all Arapahoe since then. And we're getting to the point now where Creek, I believe, in this quarter has yet to cross the midline with a possession. Now the Bruins are on the clear, coming across, making the attempt. First time they've had possession across the midline. And even tough getting near the box, but eventually across that near side, far side, right side corner. One of those middies, and he'll reset, and here's 4-2, Austin Smith. Smith, Wurtzer just substituted in. Smith's going to drive to the inside around the circle. Is he going to make the dive? No, not the case. Work the dodge. Elects not go back to his right side. Back up to Wurtzer, who I mentioned just substituted in. Wurtzer, from my experience, primary setup guys offensively for the Cherry Creek Bruins. That's Wurtzer right now. He gives it up. Far wing. And around the circle, trying to use their speed to get away from the defense of Arapahoe. Wurtzer up top, goes to the inside. He's checked. Shot attempt out of bounds. Nice defense as one of the primary scorers for Cherry Creek, trying to come up in there. And I believe that was the defenseman Will Albin doing a nice job. Albin, Donshea Raglan doing good work. Ground ball, scoop. Arapahoe, check to the backside, careful. Smith went down. We'll have to keep an eye on that near side. Austin Smith is not getting up, as if he turned his ankle a little bit or tweaked his knee. You know what? He plays the lax. He's tough. He'll be back. He's standing up right now, and we'll go ahead and focus our attention now to the offensive setup for Arapahoe. That far side wing, Working it is Adam Jones. See how quickly they move the ball around. Simple physics. Ball moves faster than someone's feet. Down into the crease and a good block. Boy, that was a tight attempt at the crease. Point blank range. Good goaltending on the part of Sam Bryn Arthur. Another block. He's given up 4 goals, but there's a lot of shots coming his way, especially here in this third quarter. And that time, he had a Warrior right in his face, anticipated where the shot was coming from, put up the basket, and made the block. May have even gotten up the top of the pole there. Good fundamental positioning as I keep an eye on Bryn Arthur there in the goal crease. 4:10, third quarter. Arapahoe with a 3-goal lead and another lengthy possession for the Warriors. Working it around team speed seems to be something that's a bonus, a plus for these Warriors as they get around. And certainly great fluid movement. So see an attempted poke check. Nice job defensively for the Bruins. Yoshiaka I've called out a few times. Trying to muscle through there on the far side. That was Tyler Lambert. No go. Bruins playing some nice defense. You'd expect that. Again, 1 and 2 goals against average. These are the top 2 squads, regardless of where they sit in terms of positioning in that statistic. Well, now we're getting rough, and he shakes and battles his way through. Trying to get a cutter. Nobody responds for Ben Eigner. But no harm for the Warriors as, again, they maintain possession. They have held this ball almost entirely throughout the third quarter. 1 possession across the midline for Cherry Creek this entire quarter. We'll see if they can get across here as they attempt to clear. Getting away from traffic. Across the way. Here come the Bruins. That lone possession I mentioned, you had a long Pullman come in and take the shot eventually because no one came up to check him and get a body on him. Now Creek will set up from X position and back up around near side. Working his fancy cradle. 15. Bert Keller takes a shot off the post, I believe, out of bounds. Bruins will keep it. Likes to work that basket. He's trying to get to the interior there around the crease, and here comes the shot. Great save on the part of Ryan Smith. Excellent goaltending. Read it well. I believe it went into his basket, popped out. Great instincts. Knew exactly where it was up in the air and eventually got it cleared well by Arapahoe and quickly. And here we are, Warriors once again, with 2 minutes left in the third quarter and counting with another possession. Near side crease, looking for a cutter. That's a low pass. Chasing after it so they can keep the ball. Good work, nice hustle on the part of Eric Steinberg, who has a goal, and he's going to go for that shot again off the ground. This time anticipated well on the part of Sam Bryn Arthur. No good. Bruins will have it, and they'll try to clear. Steinberg getting involved as a defenseman. On the roster, he's listed as a midi, so I'll correct myself and just call him a midi with a long stick. Call him a Barney B.A. too, because he's got a goal in this game. The most recent goal at the 7:12 mark to put up Arapahoe, the number 1 team in the state, 4-1, which is what you see on the scoreboard. We're approaching 1 minute to play in the third quarter. The shot attempted, and it gets through. Yes, it does. Net moved. I think it was read well on the part of Ryan Smith, but it just got through. Is that Austin Smith with the shot? Yes, it was. And you recall, Smith went down, hobbled a little bit as he was trying to make a substitution about 4 minutes ago. I said Smith would tough it out. Sure enough, he does, and he has huge impact in terms of the scoring column. Gets his squad within 2 goals. So at the 1:02 mark, Smith scores for Cherry Creek to make the contest 4-2. It's Bruins trying to work on that deficit. They're down 4-2. The Warriors in white with the black helmets and the black trim have the ball right now. Inside the box, working it back to the X. Careful, anticipating that pass deep was Hunter Burton. And they just work it around. You've got to chase all game long against this Warriors offense. They're not going to stand, work solo, try to go the ISO plays. They've been using great passing around the exterior of the box. Now to the inside, great opportunity, no cutters. You can see that zone defense set up well by the Bruins. Even if you send a cutter, nobody's going to get in there. Oh, and what a great pass. And a great scoring opportunity. A Warriors goal once again. Bryce Perrietti, you see what great work he does on his feet. That was the inside dodge to the outside. Goes back to the interior. Works the strong side of the goalie and gets it above the shoulder and in. So a great counter with just 1 second left. You see him set up to the X quickly. Perrietti with his third goal of the contest. And after, we'll call it 61 seconds, where Austin Smith for Cherry Creek put another goal on the board to kind of give a hint that the Bruins weren't going to go down without a serious fight, and they were going to try to find some things to maybe get back in this contest. Bryce Perrietti answers and really kind of countered me when I was saying Arapahoe's going to work it around. There aren't going to be any ISO plays. Nobody going man-on-man, one-on-one. And sure enough, there's Bryce Perrietti. Goes solo. Works the dodge towards the deep goal. Back to the inside and scores. Perrietti, 3 goals in this contest for AHS. The Arapahoe Warriors, 5-2 lead. A lot of work to do for the Cherry Creek Bruins. Coach Barry's going to have to trust in his seniors. He's got some good ones, including Smith, who I just mentioned. We have not heard from talented midi Sailor Skudneski in a while. He was very active in the first half. He's got a great shot, especially that underhand shot that we've seen and called out a few times. Wurtzer, Kenda Williams. Before they can make impact with great shots, Cherry Creek's going to have to play well defensively. Sound checks, good positioning, and get the ball. On my unofficial count, just 2 possessions that entire third quarter. Maybe 3, but that would be at most. Sun shining right on the X, midfield, final quarter here in the 2012 Boys Lacrosse State Championship game. Battling for it in the middle. Middies are released to the inside. Eventually, who's going to get possession? You're going to have to work for that one. Still battling. Cherry Creek with the backhand pass there. Ground ball once again. And eventually Arapahoe comes with it. Michael Babb. Is he going to attack? Yes, he finds a man right in the middle. What a shot. There's a payoff. If they get the state championship game, that's the finisher. And who is it? Eric Steinberg with his second goal. He's erupted in the second half. The senior midi with the long pole, his second goal. That is beautiful lacrosse. Babb on the true fast break after the long scrum for the ground ball after the faceoff. Finds Steinberg. Just flying right there in front of the crease, one-on-one with the goaltender. Steinberg scores just 20 seconds into the fourth quarter. 6-2 lead, Arapahoe in command here in the fourth. Again, Babb to Steinberg. Correct my notes here, 11:40 mark in the fourth. 6-2 lead now for Arapahoe, trying to get their second championship in 3 years. Winners in 2009 under Coach Guy Sarasoli trying to collect a championship here in 2012. 4-goal lead, 6-2. Bruins have possession. They're going to have to pick up their pace. Down 4 goals. Ground ball shot. Redwell swipe at it with the stick. Blocked off the shins of the goaltender. Ryan Smith has had himself an excellent game. Around the crease, there's Wurtzer. They'll reset up top. There's Austin Smith. Pass. Anticipate a ground ball. Fight for it. Nice work with the stick defensively. Alec Geiser. Geiser, the quarterback for Coach Mike Campbell for the Arapahoe Warriors, going to play quarterback in Golden for the Colorado School of Mines. Right now, he's a lax guy, and his squad's up 4 goals, looking for a state championship. Under 10 to play, 6-2 Arapahoe with possession. Don Shea Raglan working it around. Eigner, that's Eigner. Checked well, good defensive positioning on the part of Brandon Willis. Ball down, who's going to get that ground ball? Cherry Creek fights for it, and here comes Cherry Creek on the fast break. 4-on-3 until backside pressure. Nice check, a back check applied by Don Shea Raglan for Arapahoe, and maybe that threw off the Cherry Creek midi. Coming up on the 4-on-3 break, Bruins will keep the possession and reset up top. Now, they can't take as much time. These possessions, a lot quicker. Got to pick up the tempo because they've got the 4-goal deficit. There's Austin Smith working one-on-one, trying to find a cutter through the slot. Smith gets to the inside and works it all on his own, baby. Austin Smith with his 2nd goal of this second half. The big senior trying to carry his squad back into the contest. Ground ball through Ryan Smith at the 9-10 mark. Bruins down 3, face-off at the X. And the face-off won eventually by Arapahoe. Bringing it up, Sam Banks. And now he'll substitute out as you see him reverse. And we got a flag on the field. We'll see what the call is. See, we're going to the inside against a double team on defense. There's good defensive positioning on the part of the Cherry Creek Bruins. Ball hits ground, and now we'll see what the flag's all about. Coach Perry for Cherry Creek wants a full and thorough explanation. Offsides call. I missed the indication to the scorer's table down there near side here on your screen at the bottom. Regardless, Warriors will keep possession. Oh, hinting at taking that shot from the far side there up top of the box. That was Lambert. And he thinks he sees something on that offside of the goalie. There's another underhanded shot to the inside here. Is anybody going to fight for the ground ball and get it? No, it's to the inside of the circle. And eventually, oh, nice steal after the goalie did a good job. Tried to clear quickly. A steal by Michael Babb, who's having himself a nice game. Just picks it off in the air and maintains possession for Arapahoe. He keeps hinting at taking that shot. Speaking of Tyler Lampert, now he's back up top, and we'll see it. Trying to work that offside there. They think he can go high. It was at the end of the second quarter when Arapahoe started to almost exclusively go with those ground shots. Got a couple in against Cherry Creek. Now they seem to be hinting or at least threatening to wing it from way up high in the box. Looking for a cutter to the inside. He gets there, and boy, that's beautiful work. That's just fine execution, good stick handling. The goal, Tyler Lampert So it wasn't from up top that number 4 scores. It's actually his move to the interior. Lambert, Tyler with the goal to spread that Arapahoe lead back to 4 at 7:38 here in this final quarter of the Boys Lacrosse State Championship game 2012, Sports Authority Field at Mile High. Look at this face-off. These guys battling away. Who's going to kick it out? Minutes to the interior. We're going to have a call. Okay. Referee waves everybody off, awards possession to Arapahoe, quickly moving up towards the box. And across. There's number 8, Ben Eigner, who's been active, not scoring, but certainly in setting up the offensive possessions for the Warriors. Working one-on-one, gets to the inside. Ooh, nice backside check on the part of Cherry Creek's Brandon Willis. Fast break 4-on-3. Watch out for the back check. No, he gets the pass out, and boy, that was a good possession on the break. Gets a nice shot off, good sight line to it, just missed. Far side, wide. Bruins will keep it. There's Skudnetsky, impact player. Wurtzer uses the pick. Gonna wing it way high. Good positioning on the part of Creek, so they'll keep the possession on the shot, out of bounds. Working one-on-one, there's number 11 for Creek. That's Kendall Williams. We haven't heard a lot from Williams. That's off the post for sure. And a stick to the face, shaking it off. More disappointed about the missed shot and hitting the post than taking that basket to his noggin was 23 for Cherry Creek, Walter DeHaven. So a couple of consecutive fine scoring opportunities for Cherry Creek have resulted in no goals, 0 in the net. Still down 4 with 6:29 to go here in the fourth quarter of this state championship game. Cherry Creek does have possession with Austin Smith. There he is, has 2 goals in the contest, winging it around. Careful, long pull anticipates. That's Steinberg having a nice game, has 2 goals. Forces the ground ball. Eventually they get it and see what Arapahoe does. Numbers not in Arapahoe's favor. Nice call, good job by the senior, Kevin Marr, to reset, get back there and set it up from the X position. Now he's got a double team coming his way. As you can see, Fender's getting a little bit hasty to try to take over possession, checking, trying to make steals. See the double right there. Creek coming up. A lot of stick checks. Call on the backside check. Stoppage of play. All 3 officials 40 yards away from each other, talking about it, discussing, and the final verdict is Coach Sarah Soley wanted a timeout for Arapahoe. They had possession. They're going to take their timeout with under 6 to play. 7-3 Warriors. Number 1 team in the state, looking good right now. Great position with that 4-goal lead, and we've got timeouts. Now the sun just opened up, far side of the field. That is the Bruins faithful, I believe. Well, it's a mixture. Over on the right side of your screen, I see a lot of black. And then there's the Warriors cheerleaders underneath that big group of folks in black, the Spirit Squad. Somewhere over there might be Sitting Eagle. Chief Sitting Eagle, he's a big sports fan for the Arapahoe community. Got his name in the gym. Marty Cesario on the call for you here on CHSAA TV with Play On Sports, along with Warren Zeller from Play On. The Carlson family helping me out, running everything. I don't get to speak and you don't get the visuals unless the Carlsons are here to help you out. So critical to all the broadcasts you've seen throughout the last couple of years, I believe, on CHSAA TV. Thanks for that. Driving here from Northeast Colorado to hook you up with the visuals to watch great sporting moments like this. And right now it's looking like a great moment as you see a nice shot on goal. It's like perhaps the Bruins letting up a little bit, being psychologically affected with just 6 minutes to go here and down 4 goals. 2 shots on goals from right in front of the goalie's circle. Attacking the crease, those are the Warriors. The score is 7-3. The Warriors in white with possession. In case you just fired up your PC and wanted to check out what happened, we've had a lot of contests, a lot of activity throughout the Colorado High School Activities Association all day long. Flag down before the goal scored. It's waved off. You see that indication from the officials. We had a basket go to the face of one of the Warriors down on the field. That is Kevin Marr, the senior. But going back to the statement I was leading into, a lot of activity across the state of Colorado. We had a track meet in a downpour. Everybody kind of anxious to watch Ray Bozeman's from Fort Collins High School run. That certainly affected his times. Doesn't change the impact he's had really nationally. Bozeman's the fastest kids in the entire USA. The track meet, that still went on. Baseball playoff games postponed until tomorrow. Girls lacrosse, I believe both semifinal matchups have been concluded over at the DU campus. And keep in mind, state championship game girls lacrosse will be again on the DU campus on Wednesday, and you will be able to watch it here on CHSAA TV with Play on Sports. I'll have to double check. I think Cherry Creek got through. I'll make sure and double check which girls squads will be in that contest. And you see the whip from up top. They've been hinting about that since the middle of the third quarter. Finally got one in. Scoring is Tyler Lampard. Matter of fact, he's the exact guy I kept saying. He was hinting, he was threatening, he just wouldn't do it. Most of the time he's been setting up the offense, but seemed like he wanted to wing one, and that time up top gets a stick horizontal and gets one in to put up the Warriors 8-3. Lampard scores at the 4:22 mark in the fourth. So now he's in the column. Tyler Lampard, the junior midi. He has 2 goals here in the fourth. Previously scored by catching a pass as he drove the slot. Got one through the goaltender. This time goes solo, far side, top right corner of the box, and gets it in for the Arapahoe Warriors. Again, it's now 8-3, and the Warriors have a nice handle on this. Working within the sunshine on the far side of the screen, top of your screen. That was Sam Banks. So we get another timeout. I believe Cherry Creek called that timeout. And this will be a good moment for me to double check. And I'll be honest with you, I'm checking Twitter. I'm a man of the new millennium here. I will check the Colorado Preps hashtag to get uber technical for you and see who those 2 ladies squads are going to be on Wednesday for the girls lacrosse state championship game. Those were played earlier in the afternoon. Which thanks so much to guys who work the beat so often, like Jerry Valerio, Ryan Casey, Neil Devlin. They're the folks I'll be probably looking up here on Twitter. Lindsey Jones out there helping out. You see Arapahoe action here with possession. Bryce Parietti, who has 3 goals in this game. He scored 3 and eventually put up his Warriors 5-2 in the third after Austin Smith had scored to get the Bruins within 2. Parietti answered within 60 seconds to get his 3rd goal of the contest. It was 5-2 at that point. And since then, Smith has scored once again for Cherry Creek. But Steinberg stepped up, scored, and 2 goals by Lambert to where we are right now, 8-3 with under 3.5 to go at Sports Authority Field at Mile High. And we got another timeout called as I continue to probe for who the participants will be in that Lacrosse State Championship game. Or you can just tweet me at Marty Cesario. There's my handle. Aren't I creative? The concept is it's easy to find me. I didn't want to go with at Google Belly or Umizoomi. I have 2 young daughters. Those are my references to what we watch on television. At Marty Cesario, if you want to follow, communicate with me via Twitter. I'm going to give up on trying to find who those 2 participants are. I believe Cherry Creek girls got through. And most importantly, you will be able to watch the 2012 Lacrosse State Championship game here on CHSAA TV with Play on Sports on Wednesday, and that will be live with the opportunity to purchase DVD copies. But the telecast will be on Wednesday from the campus of the University of Denver. We are here at Sports Authority Field at Mile High for the boys' title game, with the Bruins down 5 goals, attacking the crease there. Eventually defense played well by Arapahoe. We're going to talk a lot about scoring, but I'm sure Coach Sarasoli will talk a lot about his defense and their positioning and how well they played. Smith, body check. Works out well, forces the ball out of bounds, and the Bruins will take over possession there. But Sarasoli will be very proud of his defense and how well they played. And that would include the goaltending of Ryan Smith. Under 3 to play as Smith approaches into the box to the outside wing. And there's a prime example of the goaltending of one Ryan Smith. The junior has been outstanding. Even helping out on the clear that time. Over the top. See, there's just nice execution. He had a midi there. Knew the ball was coming this way. Made the jump for it. But one of the Warriors just threw it over the top. And here we are. Inside the box. Back check. Knocked it out. We've got a ground ball. Fighting for it. Cherry Creek eventually collected. And is it a fast break opportunity? Trying to get to the inside. That's Wurtzer. Uses the dodge. He gets to the inside. Double teamed and eventually knocked out with a stick check. Pop! Ball out again. Down to the ground. Boy, Will Albin took a hit to the body. Face to face, so it's clean. But look at the Warriors back down the other way. That's Michael Babb. They're going to buy some time. Although, as I say that, they've maintained a level of aggressiveness without stalling. You know that's part of the game. Won't have any stalling infractions because they've been fairly aggressive. Now that time, offsides call, perhaps, but the Bruins awarded possession. As you see, the double team affected, spins out of it. Nice dodge there. Out in the midfield, 15, doing some good work there. Bert Keller, he's going to bring it up and into the box. He's going to look to the inside for a shot. No. Poke checked away. Steinberg's having himself a nice game for Arapahoe and eventually causes the ground ball and a whistle blown. Timeout, Cherry Creek. Well, as we give out pizza slices for players of the game, 1-4 is going to be part of it. If I'm there in the pizza joint, I'm walking right up to Eric Steinberg. The long stick has 2 goals, and you see that defensive work. Hope you guys are cool with pizza. It's either that or the burger joint, is what I'm thinking.
It's got to be Domino's pizza because they're Friends of A.
Okay, Domino's, is that it? Okay.
Friends of A.
The Carlsons say it's going to be Domino's. Okay, that's fine. And we're going to go traditional. It won't be the falafel. What, falafel with hummus? No, we're not doing that. It would be fair to go ahead and go calzone stromboli, back it up with the cannoli. And I'm sure Sarah Soley, the coach for Arapahoe, would be cool with that. We joked around during our conversation. I think part of why he even answered my phone call was because of my last name. And he says Coach Perry has a little bit of Italian roots too, so we're all tight like that. And then, of course, leading goal scorer for Arapahoe, has 3 goals in this contest, is Barry Eddy. Shot on goal over the top. Bruins will keep it. That was Sailor Skudneski, one of my favorite players for Cherry Creek. Hasn't had an opportunity to make as much impact as he had in recent times during these 2012 playoffs. To the inside, defense all tight in there. Got to battle through to get there, try to muscle through. That was, once again, Bert Keller, no go. We're under 1 to play. If you are an Arapahoe Warrior fan, you are anticipating when the horn sounds, as we see a shot on goal once again from up top, watching these kids in white erupt, celebrate, fist pounds, a couple of daps, and I think in these scenarios it's okay for man hugs. Because it's certainly an awesome moment for these teenagers out on the field right now. You can hear the Arapahoe crowd. Under 20 to play. We got a whistle and a flag on the field right now. And I think it's fair to say that the Arapahoe Warriors will win themselves a second championship under Coach Guy Sarasoli in the last 3 years. They won it in 2009 once Sarasoli came back to the Arapahoe lacrosse program, and they're going to win it again here in 2012 as the top seed, and they will finish the season undefeated. We'll go ahead and elevate them to 19-0. Not bad at all, especially when you consider, you can technically say for Arapahoe, their lacrosse club is a club sport. The entire thing is funded and run by volunteers, and so well, not only because of what you're seeing on the field and the record I just said, but you even have other schools calling them up to learn more about how to properly set up LACs in their communities. It's all clicking for LACs as we see a final goal scored at the horn. Will they allow it? I believe so. They're going to put 1 on the clock. You can see the judge in the middle of the field allow the goal. One second on the clock. Scoring, Grant Bowling, the junior midi. So he'll be playing again next year for Coach Perry and Cherry Creek High School. Bowling puts 1 on the board to make it 8-4. And here you go. I learned a long time ago from a mentor, whenever those moments happen, that's my opportunity to shut my mouth and enjoy it. Not only because it's good broadcasting, but you're almost subhuman if you can't sit back and enjoy watching that. Congratulations, Arapahoe Warriors, 2012 Boys Lacrosse State Champions. And not surprisingly, in a sport where community is a gigantic part of the whole deal, those kids immediately run over to those who have supported them throughout the season. There's Michael Babb, number 2. His older brother didn't work out in Annapolis earlier today. The DU Pioneers. Drew Babb and his crew lost to the number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, Loyola University. A nice balance for the Babb family, and I'm sure Drew is watching. Maybe this broadcast or monitoring the tweets. But I'm sure he's got a big smile on his face. Younger bro won himself a state title. Another nice story where Sam Banks took that shot to the noggin in the semi. The thrilling comeback victory against Columbine. Banks had concussive symptoms, was cleared to play not that long before setting up for the opening face-off of this game. Banks got to get out on the field, a senior, a final game, a chance to be in this championship, and now he gets to be a part of this. That's huge. Bryce Parietti, senior leader, go-to guy, as Coach Sarasoli described him. Certainly got a chance to make huge impact. Oftentimes you see star players get negated because of great game planning. You know, you get at this stage, you got 2 great clubs and great coaching. Star players get negated. Well, not the case. Parietti with 3 goals, and part of that eruption in the second and third quarters, his 3 goals eventually got Arapahoe to that 5-2 spread. If you're wondering who the guys in orange are up top, we have ourselves a professional outdoor lacrosse game that's going to immediately follow this contest after the celebration. Denver Outlaws going to be out on the field.
Somebody don't get hurt.
Yeah, now they're not scooping ground balls, they're scooping helmets because they've got to warm up. Good showing sportsmanship, bottom of your screen. Shaking hands. Cherry Creek, the 2 seed, will finish overall 15-4. They won the title in 2010, advanced to this championship game in 2012. 1 game short will be the case, but certainly have to be proud of themselves. A very, very nice run to get to this point. They'll finish 15-4, and certainly congratulations to them on an excellent season. So a couple of quick reminders before we finish the broadcast. Not only have we hope you enjoyed it, the live broadcast here on CHSAA TV with Play on Sports, but with a little bit of patience, you'll be able to secure a DVD copy of this event right here on the CHSAA.tv webpage. And I say offer patience as you see that great moment. There it is. Warriors came out and played and got themselves a championship in 2012. But working with my comments before, I had to stop down to allow a good visual and a moment to appreciate those guys celebrating. Man smooches on the trophy. You can get and purchase a DVD copy of this event right here on the webpage, CHSAA.tv. Might take a day or two because we're old school. We got to run it by Pony Express, Big Oxen, via the Oregon Trail, get it processed, pressed. But you can definitely purchase those copies. So if you're part of the Arapahoe community, Cherry Creek communities, and Lacrosse, you can definitely get a copy for yourselves. Hope you enjoy that.
They're running highlights right now on here.
Awesome moment, isn't it?
Whenever you want to wrap up.
I believe that'd be the final celebration.
Whenever you want to wrap up.
Okay. So the Carlsons say, hey, time to get out, and that's okay, because we're going to go and see about a celebration with some kids in white. Again, congratulations to the Arapahoe Warriors. 19-0 on the season. Coach Sarah Soli's squad wins the 2012 Boys Lacrosse State Championship here in Colorado. Thank you so much to all the folks involved with the Colorado High School Activities Association. Guys that I work with a lot, like Harry Waterman, Bert Borgman, and of course the folks from CHSAA TV and the operations with Play on Sports. I'm Marty Cesario, and thank you once again for joining us here on CHSAA TV.